Hey, sweeties. So, first off, if my laptop wobbles, starts to fall, it's on a stack of other things to get a better angle. Um, but it looks okay at the moment. Anyway, hi. Welcome to video number 19, where I'm going to talk a little bit about hospitality. And yeah, so first of all, shout out to a wonderful lady named Lilliane from my synagogue, whose lesson yesterday that she shared with the congregation really inspired me. So here we are. Thank you, Lilliane. Anyway, yeah, so, some people struggle with, is the Bible real? Is it true? Does it matter? I didn't used to necessarily believe that any of it was probably historically accurate at all. I didn't know. I didn't know. I am satisfied that now at this point that a significant portion of it is. Some of it is also literal poetry, and you can tell visually, like by the way the words are laid out, as well as the word choices themselves. So some of it is literal, some of it is figurative and poetic and like that. I think the important thing is, are we learning something from it? And yes. So there is a lot of stuff in the Parsha that we read last week. And it's Parshat Va Yera, which is located, once again, I just want to show you, for those just tuning in, this is the translation that I use. I like it. Yeah. So Parshat Va Yera, which is Genesis, I'm looking at my notes, Genesis chapters 18 through 22. And in this particular translation, it can be found on pages 99 to 122. A lot of stuff happens in this parsha, and some of it is excuses for people to be hateful, and some of it is just weird or interesting to different people. I'm just gonna I made a little list. It is not a complete list, but some interesting things that are located in this particular section of the Hebrew Bible. So we've got angels visiting Abraham and Sarah's house, Sarah being informed of an upcoming pregnancy that quite surprised her. You have Abraham negotiates for community, asking God, please, to not destroy the entire community. What if there's 50 good people? And then, God saying, I won't destroy if there's 50 good people. Well, what if there's, and it going down in increments until we get to, if there's 10 good people, fine, I'll spare the place if there's 10 good people, which we know how that turned out. Unfortunately, so the destruction of Sodom and Gomorrah, Lot's family leaving. Oh, the reason I kept that little detail, and it's one thing. It's in chapter 19, verse 26, and Lot's wife turning to a pillar of salt. And the only reason I mention that is because someone once told me, in fact, I think it was a rabbi, if I remember correctly, decades ago, saying, yo, that's just commentary, that's not even in the biblical text. But it is. Check your facts, people. do not say this is really in there, or this is not in there, or this is what it said, until after you double checked it. Okay. There's a really interesting midrash, which is kind of an educated made up story. It's like you read the text, what's actually there, and then say, well, maybe it meant this, or maybe this, this is, it's like filling in blanks. But, so someone supposed that what if, her turning into a pillar of salt is because of the symbolism of, she was sad to be leaving because she had friends there, her whole life was there, her world's upside down. So she was crying, and hence the salt. I don't know, but so that's just, definitely made up, but I mean, it's in there. It's in here. What can I say? Anyway, so I thought that was interesting because it is in the text. Abraham and Sarah telling King Abimelech that they're siblings, which is in chapter 20, verse 2. It turned out okay, and I don't remember if I covered that in a previous video or not, but if I didn't, I will at some point. Also, we have in this Parsha the first circumcision of an 8-day-old human, which something that I think is interesting that I learned when I was training to be a birth instructor, which is that the clotting factors in the blood usually kick in at about 8 days of age on average. So I do not think it's accidental that that's in there. I just think it's really interesting. Oh, and if I didn't say it, that is chapter 21, verse 4. And then sending away Hagar and Ishmael, which was not okay. And the binding of Isaac, which that's a whole mess to unpack. Not doing that today either. Today we're focusing on hospitality. But that was just like a rundown of, there was a whole bunch of stuff going on in this Parsha. But so we're focusing on the positive and focusing on something that is useful right now in modern times, which is the attribute of hospitality that we learned from Abraham and Sarah, welcoming these strangers into their home, and and then they discover that they are angels. Anyway, we can be kind, and we can share, and we can welcome others into our space. And it doesn't always look the same. People have different living situations. I had a train of thought and I lost it. And it's not something that I have written down. Okay, that's okay. But even now my current situation, I'm in a safe parking program. It's a community of people who all live in our vehicles, and we still find ways to be hospitable, be kind and caring, and share with each other. And in fact, one of the ways that I am able to share with the rest of that community is my synagogue, because they know what my situation is. They send food with me. They send food back to the parking program with me. So that's always that, whenever, there's like a lunch or something, or extra treats left over or whatever it is, they send stuff back with me, for me, and also to share. So it's, you don't have to be in the most ideal of circumstances, to show a little kindness to others. And last night one of my fellow clients there actually came over to me. We both have birthdays later this month, and he's like, "Here, I'm tired of carrying this around for you." And she gave me this metal coffee cup, and one of the nice insulated ones with a cap, and it's like, keeps hot stuff hot for hours and cold stuff cold for even more hours. And it was really sweet and thoughtful. I would not have asked for anything, but no, I asked for people in that community to subscribe to my channel. But that's about it. So that was really sweet, and and there were a couple of dollars inside of it too, so which a couple of other people contributed, so that was just really sweet. And I have something very low key for her, which I'm not going to say. I don't think she subscribes. I don't think she'll see this, but I just want to make sure. And it's not much, but it's something. You show someone some kindness, show them you're thinking of them. Yeah, I mean, when I was a kid, that we were very lucky. We were not poor. We had a great big house that I grew up in, and there were always people visiting. There were always people coming over and having something to eat and staying the night maybe. And and this is, my friends, my siblings' friends. I'm the youngest of 4, so there's a lot of people coming through. One time, one of my brothers had some friend that he met. I don't remember where, but I mean that brother was not even home, and he was off somewhere. And this friend was like, "Oh yeah, I'm a friend of so and so," And my parents were like, "Okay, come in, have something to eat, Oh, you'll be in town for a few days. Okay, here's a room you can stay in." I mean, it was that, and that was normal. I mean, that's just like how you treat people, and I would love to get to a point in my life where I can offer that on that same level that I was able to, witness as a child, and hopefully one day that'll happen. Gotta hope, right? So, if anyone wonders, hey, what's this big deal about the Bible? Does it matter? Is it relevant now? Yeah, it's relevant now. You can learn something from it. Don't just pick out the parts that you can use as an excuse to hate on people, after you've twisted them around. No, let's not do that, please. Take the good stuff. And there's a lot of good stuff in there. And, following the example of hospitality is some of the good stuff. So that is about it for now. And did I say thank you to Lilliane at the beginning? Thank you, Lilliane, for sharing this lesson with me and with the congregation yesterday, so that I could then turn around and acknowledge you with permission and share it with the interwebs. So, okie dokie. So until next time, my sweeties.